Welcome to day one of me giving the middle finger to the algorithm or whatever it is that controls what we see and what is served to us in terms of content. Because at this point in time, maybe a little bit like you, I've gotten bored of having to jump through weird hoops and do things like how everybody else does it with a hook and a middle bit to the content and a call to action and an open loop that maybe leads people to, to watch something else. It just doesn't excite me anymore, is the real truth of it. It absolutely bores me to tears to over manufacture highly performative show which doesn't, and that might work for you, but for me and for us and what we do, my wife's going to kill me because I've come to do this. I'm sat on the bed for some strange reason, and I've had to move all the cushions. If you're, you're an older guy, and your wife just loves having cushions all over the bed, you'll appreciate how much danger I'm actually in right now by moving these bad boys around. So I'm going to move. And it's funny because a lot of this that I'm setting out doing for myself is actually the same advice and the same insight that I give our clients. Fundamentally, the phrase or the wording is be yourself, do what feels good to you, because the more you're aligned with just being you, whatever that means, that's all subjective, then the energy that you show up with and your intention is going to be much cleaner. It's going to be received in a much different way. Whereas if you're performing, like imagine if I was, and I don't mean literally, figuratively juggling right now, I'm performing for whatever, the marketing bros tell us is going to garner views, garner interest. Make sure that you stop scrolling and you don't go anywhere else. And then you meet me and we actually get on a Zoom call, or maybe you come to to one of our masterminds and you're like, this guy is not the same. This is like a night and day difference, because that's really not me. I am not a performing monkey, and I don't speak how marketing stuff is put together. I'm a pretty normal guy. I'm pretty easygoing. I'm a Yorkshireman, so maybe I am tight as fuck sometimes. But I'm certainly not the, hey, stop, zooming in and out. That's just not what I fucking watch, and that's not how I want to show up for the people that I care about and that I want to look after in our business. So instead, this is going to be a fun game. And I said day one back at the beginning because I've written for a long time for all the types of businesses that we've ever had. Since before I left the military in 2011. And before I left the military, I started setting up businesses. And before I was in the military, I've always had my hands in multiple things to make money. Not necessarily coaching like what's carried me through, for a long time now. But I've always written, whether it's blogs. Do you remember blogs? They were fucking cool. Whether it's been marketing material, whether it's been stuff that's gone into PDF guides for clients or freebies, whether it's long form posts, whether it's testimonials, whether it's helping clients with scripts, for their videos, you name it, I have put my hand to it. And the practice of writing daily is so similar to creating video and putting yourself on camera daily, which is something that I actually started doing more of back in, I want to say 2014, 2015. I was doing a hell of a lot of videos. Through 2017 and 16, when lives became a thing on Facebook, or was it 2015? Anyway, I was going live several times per day because it was so exciting, number one. And number two, back then, because it was cool and no one else was doing it and everyone was a little bit afraid to do it, it gathered a lot of interest. I gathered a lot of eyeballs for the things that we were doing, we were coaching, that we were selling. But so just like in the spirit of the old school days of being able to go live and just be able to talk, because I never scripted it. I had maybe a high level idea of what I wanted to talk about, and then I just went with it. And as people showed up live, I would have a little chat to them, see how they were doing, say their names, as if I was doing a product showcase in a John Lewis, and I was the guy using the blender. Hey, gather around, guys. Do you fancy a smoothie? Let me show you how well this fucking thing works. And it takes me back, honestly, to the days of when I was younger, of when I used to work in the family shops. So before I left school, I would go into the family shop, take my school jumper off, and I would help out as much as a 10, 11, 12-year-old could. And then when I left school at 15, I was given and put in charge of the next shop that we opened up in the next town that we lived in. And I absolutely loved it. I love this idea of people coming to the shop window and the doorway, and I was in charge and I was responsible for bringing those people in and potentially selling them something. And that was the beauty about going live for me. I love this ability to just have such wide and broad scope on what I wanted to talk about and finding the inroads, just like when I was in the shops when I was younger. And you would, talk to people, find out who they were, what they were about, what did they actually need. And I would conversate with them. Do you remember those days? When we didn't shop on Amazon all the time and we didn't rely on, strangers to deliver things to our front doors. We had to actually go out and talk to people and ask for stuff. I kind of miss those days, to be honest. But when I think about why videos in this style, my style, are so important, it's because I have the experience already. For years and years, I've been doing this. So why now do I and have I listened to the guys that market so aggressively and have it rammed down my throat that there has to be a hook and there has to be this in the middle, there has to be this in the end? It's like, nah, mate, I'm fucking good. I'm going to do things my way, actually. And so call me crazy, call me, go against the grain for the sake of going against the grain. It's more of a case of I recognize what I can do without it causing friction, without it causing this need to learn more and figure more stuff out. I know I can just turn this bad boy on, have a really basic idea of what I want to talk about, how I want to get my message out today, and I can just do it. And my heartfelt belief is that by doing the things that I find come naturally to me, and I get to showcase the actual person that I am, rather than some sort of juggling, peanut munching fucking monkey. That's my dog snoring away in the background. I will actually get to attract and find my people, the people that want to work with real, raw, non-performative, hoop jumping people. So why did I say day one back at the beginning? Well, as I mentioned, I've written for a long time, and it was a daily practice at one point in time. And I would write something every single day about maybe an interaction or a coaching call that I'd had with a client. Maybe something just happened in my personal life that I could relate back to the sense or the world of what we do and how we help people. Well, I'm kind of overwriting for a little bit. And I actually want to get back to doing videos. So this is just, I guess, like a little personal challenge, and also a test to see if how many days will it take for, whatever platforms I post this on to decide, what, this guy needs to have more friends. He needs to have more followers. And these are his people. And this is who we're going to show his videos to. Maybe that's you right now. So maybe that then begs the question, what is it that you actually do? Now I've listened to you talk for a good 10 minutes about nothing but your own personal challenge. Well, for over 10 years, we've helped people make more money in their businesses, coaches, entrepreneurs, service providers specifically. And we do that by breaking the current held identity that people have about themselves. So how they project themselves into the world, how they communicate internally, externally, how they connect with themselves, how they connect with the world, potentially their clients, a lot of the times their loved ones as well. Because our belief is, and our system, our methodology is, how you do one thing is how you do everything. So if you're showing up in a bit of a shit show and perhaps weak and not doing the things that you know you should be doing in one part of your life, then guess what? That bleeds out into other parts of your life as well. And we are, dare I say, masterful at this point in helping people break through that stuff. Maybe it is a little bit egotistical, this challenge that I'm doing. But if you are a time served expert, like, dare I say, that we are, then you deserve exposure. You deserve to be seen by the right people, because if you've been in business and you've got nothing but exceptional results for people, then you deserve to drown out those that are not getting great results for people, or trying to take money from people and just not doing a great job whatsoever. This also is to make sure that I'm being seen by the people that I know that need our help. And it's time to do it a little bit of a different way, rather than marching to the orders of how we're all told to do things.